These are the two worst words in the English language. Vocabulary. From beginners to even advanced students, there are some words that almost everyone uses. If you really want to sound like a native and stand out, then today, let's have a look at 7 phrases that people use way too much and some different ways to say them. And at the end of the video, I will give you one key piece of advice to help you expand your vocabulary. Ready? Let's go! Number 1. So many Japanese people use this phrase. Maybe it's because it's similar to ma. So is an English word, but natives don't use it that often. Another more natural phrase to sound more native is not bad or alright. Yeah, the movie wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. The food was alright, but it was really expensive. Next, let's have a look at frequency. Number 2. Often. Often is another one of the most common words in the English language. So let's level up our vocabulary and instead say frequently. It's easy, it has the exact same meaning. I often play the piano, I frequently play the piano. I exercise often, and I exercise frequently. Exactly the same, but frequently sounds higher level. And on the flip side, instead of not often, you can say rarely. But there is an even better idiom that you can use. Once in a blue moon. This is a great phrase, meaning rarely or not often. I only visit my parents once in a blue moon. Good? Okay. Next, let's have a look at strong adjectives. Number 3. Busy and tired. How are you? When we answer this question, a common answer is I'm busy or I'm tired. Sometimes both at the same time. But again, busy and tired are beginner level words. Instead of busy, say swamped. And instead of tired, say exhausted. Swamped and exhausted are examples of strong adjectives. Very busy, swamped. Very tired, exhausted. And I think you know a strong adjective. Beautiful. Beautiful means very pretty. If you can memorize and use strong adjectives, you will sound less like a beginner and much more like a native. Okay, moving on. Number 4. Very. We just talked about strong adjectives, but if you can't remember it, instead you can use very. Very is so useful and easy to use. You can put it in front of any adjective to make it stronger, but there is a much better word instead of very. Extremely or incredibly has the same meaning. Woo! This curry is extremely spicy. She's incredibly kind, isn't she? Now, these words are quite difficult to say, so let's practice together. Extremely. Extremely. Incredibly. Incredibly. Okay so far? Let's move on. Like and don't like. Like and don't like are incredibly boring words. So instead of like, let's use I'm obsessed with or I'm crazy about. Right now, I'm obsessed with watching Korean dramas. My mother is crazy about playing tennis. But what about dislikes? I'm not a fan of, and it's not my cup of tea are great phrases to use. To be honest, I'm not a fan of spicy food. Playing video games isn't my cup of tea. Of course, if you use it's not my cup of tea, it's quite British. Good? Next word. Number 6. Thank you. It's normal to say thank you every day, so it's always good to know different ways to show thanks. I really appreciate it. Or if you want to be more specific, you can say, I appreciate you doing something. I appreciate you helping me with my homework. I appreciate you making time to meet me. Appreciate is a great way to show thanks at a deeper level. But for something more casual, you can say, oh, you're a lifesaver. If you translate it directly, it sounds more like あなたは私の恩人です。But it's not that strong in English. A more natural translation is 助かった。And last but not least, we have the two final words. Nice and good. These are the two worst words in the English language. Why? Because they are too general. In English schools, when we were given writing homework, there were two words that were always prohibited. Those words were good and nice. Do you know why it was banned? Because it's too simple and every child uses it. How's the weather? Yeah, it was nice. Did you enjoy the food? It was good. Good and nice are not useful because they're not specific. There are so many other words that give more information or emotion. If I ask someone, how was the movie? And they say, it was good, I still don't know anything about the movie. Some better answers would be, the story was so heartwarming, the animation was stunning, the music was tense. The next time you are about to say good or nice, stop yourself, think for a few seconds, and use a different word. If you don't know one, ask someone or use a dictionary. Now, at the beginning of the video, I said I will give you one key piece of advice to help you expand your vocabulary. When practicing a language, it's okay to exaggerate reality. Real life and daily routines are not always interesting. We go shopping, we do homework, we do some exercise. So we often use the same boring words to talk about our life. But this is a problem. If we don't use new words, our vocabulary won't increase. Today was so-so. I watched an interesting video. Work was quite difficult, but it was okay. So to solve this problem, we should exaggerate. Today was incredibly boring. I watched a fascinating video. Work was so difficult, I wanted to die. Exaggerating things can also be a form of humor. It's boiling. I'm gonna melt. Man, I am starving. I could eat a horse. Life is always more interesting when we add a little bit of emotion into our words, especially in lessons. Don't be afraid to exaggerate or try new words, because we don't want to just be good. We want to be excellent. Have a wonderful day and bye for now.